Hello, food lovers and community heroes, and welcome to Just Talking with Chef Lou. I'm your host, Chef Lou, stirring the pot of conversation and seasoning it with inspiration. Each week, we bring you the flavors of our community served up with a side of heartwarming stories and a dash of the extraordinary. Today, as we're turning the spotlight on those remarkable individuals who are making the difference right in our own backyard, from local restaurateurs to unsung heroes, we're sharing the stories of passion, perseverance, and power of community. So grab your apron, settle in, and let's meet today's guest, a true change maker who's adding unique spice to our community. Remember, it's not just about the food on our plates, but the people who bring us together. Let's dive in with Mike Ferraro. Mike, welcome.
Chef Lou, thank you for having me.
I appreciate you showing up. Mike, I'd like for you to first tell everybody out there who you are and what your background is.
Sure, we'd love to. So, Mike Ferraro, I own a company called Bridging the Gap for Veterans. I started back in 1982 by joining the Air Force and served 32 years.
You're a veteran.
In the Air Force. I'm a veteran.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
I have a motto of fly, fight, and win. And so for 32 years, I served our country, and I retired 10 years ago in 2013. And now I'm continuing with my passion to help veterans and military community at large, not just find jobs, but be that change maker that you mentioned.
Well, what is the core mission?
So our main mission at Bridging the Gap is to open doors for veterans. We engage a veteran, a military family member, whether they're active duty, Guard or Reserve, or student veteran, and engage them with a corporate America, and to help them prepare, get their resume straight, interview. We dress them up for success as well. We have a whole clothing store. And then get that interview with that corporation, which sometimes is tough to do, and then help them get the job. And so we help them all the way through the whole career life cycle.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, we had a lot of success.
That's good stuff.
We're close to 1,000 people now. We have 940 veterans or military spouses that we've gotten jobs for in 8 years.
That's
so
good
we're
stuff.
going to have a big celebration when we get to 1,000.
That's a good number, and
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll go way beyond that. What are some of the challenges faced by veterans in your experience? What are in your experience, getting back to civilian life?
Sure. One of the big things that I see right off the bat, because I've been there, I wore the boots, I wore the uniform, and so I can relate so well. And many, many times we'll get someone who comes to us and says, I can't get a job, I can't get an interview, can you help me? I look at the resume, and first of all, they're not prepared. They think it's going to be a lot easier to find a job than it truly is. So they'll get out, and then within 30, 40 days, they're on unemployment, and they can't find a job. They can't get an interview. So when we help them, we kind of start from self-identifying what their really goals are, and we find out one of the biggest challenges is they don't know what they want to do. So they may have been a bomb loader or an aircraft mechanic, maybe even in cybersecurity or even a pilot, but they're not exactly sure what they want to do when they get out. And that's where we help.
You help orient them.
We help educate and then advocate for them.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
I mean, that's important.
It
It's
is.
not happening on. I guess it doesn't happen from the service they come from. It doesn't. Is there an acclimation? Is there a?
There's a transition assistance program that they can take for up to 6 months before they get out, and they do that
prior to getting out.
prior to getting out.
Okay.
And they teach them some things like this to help with their resume and so forth. But it goes in one ear and out the other, and they think they got it. They think they can do it on their own
Because they've been bred to be tough
Exactly.
and strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
The discipline and the mission focus, they believe that they can do it. But then when they see how hard it is when you get in the civilian world, it's not that easy. You need help, and we're there to help.
How is your experience as a veteran helping with this?
Yeah, so that's a really good question because I can relate so well. When they start to talk about the different jobs that they've had, when they give us a resume, sometimes it's full of acronyms, and I can understand what those acronyms are.
Okay.
Where a typical HR person, when they get that resume, they look at it and go, what are they talking? It's gobbledygook.
Code.
Yeah. So we then translate. So one of the things that we do is we fireproof their resume, and that's fact, impact, result, and effect. I drill into my career coaches. We're going to fire that resume up so it has a qualitative and quantitative bullets on there, so you as Chef Lou and you want to hire somebody in culinary can see exactly what contributions, achievements that they make and they have done.
I mean, that's so important. What makes Bridging the Gap's approach to veterans unique
Yeah.
compared to other organizations? Like, how are you different?
Yeah. So what makes us different, first of all, is there's not too many career coaching companies that are nonprofit. So first, right out of the bat, we're a 501c3, fully determined by the IRS 8 years ago, and so we work with corporations on a donation basis. So that's number one.
That's fantastic.
So we're no threat to any headhunters that are out there or any staffing agencies, because we take a different model altogether. So the other thing is that makes us unique is that, we have a full life cycle where not only we're helping them from the very beginning of their resume, but we dress them up for success. I have a clothing store that we give gently used and dry cleaned suits for men and women. That's suits, jackets, shirts, ties, and they come to our clothing store by appointment.
The part, yeah.
And then we dress them up. So there's no excuse now. We got their resume. Now they're dressed for the part, and then we follow up the day of or before the day of the interview, and make sure that they're ready to go. And interview them informally over the phone or Zoom, and we could do this locally. We could do this nationwide.
Do you have a specific success story that you would like to share? Like
I do.
Impactful success story.
Not too long ago, about 2 months ago, we had an Army reservist come to us, and he found out about us through the Joint Base, and we're all over the state of New Jersey. We're partnered with a lot of different military branches, and he got a job with Ocean First Bank.
Okay.
Right here in Toms River, the headquarters. And he comes to us and he said,
They are a supporter of the Army. Just want to give you a heads.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they are a big supporter.
Ocean First is? That's great. So he came to us as he's going to be customer service, basically a teller.
Okay.
Brand new job,
Mm-hmm.
had one suit.
Mm-hmm.
So we looked at his resume, and we said to him, he got the job already, but we looked at the resume, we gave him some pointers, but we really helped him in giving him suits, giving him part of our
Getting dressed
Operation
up.
Suit Up. So Operation Suit Up, he went to our clothing store, he picked out 6 suits and different ties and shirts and all that, and now he's ready to go to work. He didn't have to spend that extra money. A suit today, a good suit, $500, $600, $700.
Yeah.
And now he's got clothing for a variety for the whole week, and getting the right start that he needed to get into Ocean First. Then what happened was Ocean First found out about what we're doing. Now Ocean First wants to partner up with us on a suit drive.
Yeah, it's positive stuff.
To give suits back to us as well.
Bless all those people who give them up to,
I know.
instead of just discarding them. There's some people, it's very useful.
Yeah,
That's
because
fantastic.
some people give them to Goodwill. You don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
Here, where you have a tie to the military.
Specifically, yeah. That's important stuff, supporting our veterans. How does Bridging the Gap involve the community? Like, how does the community get involved too?
Yeah. So
helping.
Learn more about us by going to our website at www.bridgingthegap.vet.
Did you get that? BridgingTheGap.vet.
And so you'll learn more about us and so forth. So one of the things that you can do is you can donate to us, and we're a 501c3.
Mm-hmm.
We give a receipt for that as well. But we have various programs. Like, for instance, our career program, we host speed interviewing events. And we do the speed interviewing events on military bases, like the Joint Base and armories and so forth, several times a year.
Like speed dating, but
Yeah, exactly.
But for
careers.
For careers.
Yeah,
like
so
they kind of get, what do they kind of know right away off the bat?
7 minutes with Chef Lou,
Yeah.
and I spend 7 minutes with you if you're hiring. And I know kind of an idea. You're the kind of person I want to talk to. Again, the following week you get a second interview. And that's helped us reach a lot of people getting jobs because of the speed interview.
How many jobs have you placed? Do you have?
Well,
you have
939 right now. And we're working on
That's
somebody right
fantastic.
now as we speak, because we're hoping 940.
almost at 1,000.
Yeah.
So that's the big celebration.
That's a big
right.
celebration,
You did say
yeah.
that. Well, that's fantastic. What are some of the biggest challenges that you have running this?
Yeah. Well, one of the challenges we faced is it's a cyclical or sine curve of support from the corporate side. Where we get donations and so forth to help sustain us and our team. And so that's one side of it. Always, because as a nonprofit, you're only as good as your last dollar,
Yeah.
And from running Chef Lou
Yes.
how tough it
It's
is.
tough stuff.
But some of the challenges are also, when you're dealing with a person who's looking for a job, sometimes the response is back as well. As someone responding back to your needs, getting into, scheduling the appointment and so forth, and making sure that they're going to, they have a bias for action, so that they really want to be motivated to get that job.
Bias for action.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a term used in the military.
I like that
and
a lot.
and it's really just going above and beyond and being inspired and motivated to do your job.
I want to use that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna get T-shirts made for my crew. Bias for action. I love that.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic. So, I mean, what about veteran reintegration? Like, what strategies besides the suiting up?
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. So one of the things that we do for integration wise, you hear so much about post traumatic stress, right? We all know
PTSD.
PTSD. It could be something from combat. It could be something you see a bad car accident or some major emergency that happens and you're involved and it stays with you for a while. So sometimes service dogs or a companion animal, we get involved with that from a community reintegration perspective. We partner with the Monmouth County SPCA right here in our own Eatontown, and we purchased, we rescue service dogs. We rescue companion animals as well, and then we pay 50% of the application fee for a veteran to own that dog or a cat or whatever it may be. So to date, we have had close to about 30 dogs, cats that we've paid for in the last year and a half.
That's great.
And it's a great feeling because you get a call from the Monmouth County SPCA saying we have a veteran is here and he's looking to rescue a dog. Is he qualified? And so they'll send me the credentials, and then we tell them the answer is yes. And it was saving them $300-400 because it's about $700 to rescue an animal for a dog. It's a lot of money.
It
a lot
is.
of money.
You're stepping in a lot there.
Yeah, so that's one part of our community integration. The other part of our community integration is like if you're a veteran and you want to be a police officer, not too many people want to be in law enforcement today. So what we do is when they're in the police academy, the veteran with the highest achievement while they're in the police academy, and typically there's several veterans, we give them a $1,000 scholarship at the graduation of the police academy. And we worked with the sheriff of Monmouth County on that and the police academy director. So we helped them with that $1,000 to say thank you for your service because they don't get paid while they're in the police academy for 22 weeks.
Right.
So we're giving them a stipend, a grant, a scholarship.
Not much for 22 weeks, but that's a great. That's a great.
Yeah,
touch.
we
That's
call
great.
it Back to Blue scholarship.
You guys are you're everywhere. That's fantastic. What are some of the challenges of getting you to grow?
Yeah.
Getting you bigger than what you are, because why isn't this everywhere?
Yeah, exactly. So we're not a franchise. We're not like a chapter that is of something else, as well. But what we're seeing though is people are looking for this kind of program in different parts of the country, and so we're trying to figure out how do we get to that next step on do we partner with other nonprofits that are doing something similar, and add our value proposition with theirs to combine, and 1 and 1 equals 3. So we're trying to uncover those kinds of pathways for us to see if we can expand that way. But right here in the tri-state area, we're knocking it out of the park. I mean, we have the relationships with all the military. We have it with this veteran service organizations as well. We have it with corporations. We have 153 companies that work with us. So to expand to the next level, we have to offer another program that would kind of maybe glue us together with another organization so that we can expand.
Got it.
So we can merge in a
You
way.
need almost like not a takeover, but just a collaboration.
Yeah,
Big
of capabilities.
yeah.
Careers is what we focus on. So if we were to partner with another organization that has maybe homelessness or something dealing with food insecurities or something like that, where we can expand our reach.
Yeah, I tell you, that's good stuff. I mean, there's hopefully you do get that out there.
Yeah.
And, there's that one person who sees what's going on, and that's how it happens.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's sometimes a referral.
Yeah.
The relationship.
Yeah. I mean, how do you have this coffee here?
Yep.
Can you kind of explain how some of the funding comes in to help you get to where you these dogs, these cats, how are you doing all this?
So I mentioned
Besides the corporation.
Yeah, the
right?
corporations make a donation.
And you said that's cyclical. So I mean,
Yeah.
they do it based on what's going on in the
Yeah.
year and what time of year. I'm sure that it dries up at the end of the year.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
So.
So what we realized quickly after being in business for about 4 years ago was we were looking for a sustained, predictable revenue model each month that we can rely on. to pay our rent, to pay our employees, to pay the insurances, to pay all the things that business owners have to get involved with.
Take notes here.
And I realized quickly that, we needed a product that could possibly help us get there. So I looked at Paul Newman, what he did, but Newman's Own.
Yeah.
And I said,
Brilliant.
he's doing coffee, popcorn, salsa, salad dressings, all kinds of great stuff, food for dogs and cats.
That he's not making.
Yeah. And so he started something back in the 80s, and he gives back from that. 100% of the after-tax profits goes back to his charities. And he's got hundreds of charities as part of Newman's Own. I said, I'm going to follow that same model. Success leaves clues. I took some of his clues of what he did and said, I want to have coffee specific to salute the military. So this is one that's called Anchors Away and Salutes the Navy. And we have one for the Army, Army Strong, one for the Air Force, Aim High, and so forth. And we have K-Cups, we have grounds. Quickly, I created something called a Coffee Commander program, where we get corporations to buy our coffee for roughly $1,000 for 6 months, and we donate that coffee every month in that name of that company to a military unit, a first responder, police, fire, EMS around the world. And it took off during COVID, and that helped us during COVID. We had 180 companies during 2020 to help us grow this, because on the career side, things kind of slowed down significantly. The coffee helped us expand and bootstrapped us to another level. And now we have hot chocolate. Soon to be, we're going to have tea. And then we got into supermarkets. We got into food towns and ShopRites. And now, 2024, Albertsons groceries talk to us, and we're looking at Acme's and Stop and Shops.
Wow.
And so that took off. In 2023, we expanded our fundraising. So now we do fundraising for organizations, the Boy Scouts, the Elks, dance teams, baseball clubs, you name it. And that's expanding. And this was all done using a website that was produced by Wingman Planning, and helped us get to a point where...
Wingman, shout out.
Absolutely. Tom and his team are phenomenal. And it helped us get to a point now we are helping a lot of people nationwide. We got fundraising going on all over.
How many fundraisers you told me before?
65.
65 fundraisers going on at one time, and soon to be a 66th.
Yeah, we got them all over. Florida, New York, they're all happening, and we ship directly to wherever the address is. But the coffee helped us get sustained funding, and so now we're going to offer something else where we could do buy one, donate one, a kind of a Bombas socks model. It's very similar, and we're going to, like, for instance, with Chef Lou's Army, we want to be able to have a Chef Lou's Army coffee blend, and then have supporters buy one for themselves, buy another one to donate to Chef Lou, and then also you get $5 on each item, roughly 40% going back to Chef Lou. So $10 plus the coffee to go out with your meals.
Yeah.
When you produce those meals for food insecurities who people need it, we want to add value.
Yeah.
And because you're not giving any beverage, we want to be your beverage supplier using that model. And that's going to help us too, because $3 of those products goes to our veterans programs.
That's beautiful. It's like a people helping people.
Exactly.
The synergy. It's such a positive thing that the world needs right now in such a negative space.
Yeah, no doubt. We want to make a difference. We want to be that unsung hero.
Hashtag be the difference.
Yeah. Exactly.
I love that. I love that a lot. What's the how do you measure impact on a person's life?
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be satisfying when you see it on a personal side.
Yeah.
But how do you measure? Just how want to elaborate?
Typically, I measured a couple of different ways. One way, we always ask for a follow up from this person who, after they go for the interview, to see how they did. So we get that feedback from them directly.
Yeah.
We get it from the company as well. But when I get that person who calls me up and says, "Chief, I got the job. I landed the job. Thank you so much. You saved my life. You saved, my family. You saved where I live, my house. I got a job." A quick story.
Stuff.
We had a person in Middletown. He was an air marshal, lost his job in Homeland Security. We turned it around in less than 60 days, and now he got a director of operations and a director of security down in Atlantic City of a housing development. He almost not doubled his salary, but he got a 20% increase, and he was back on his heels. He calls us up and says, "Thank you so much for what you did." and that's like a log in the fire to create more energy for me.
That's great.
And motivates the team as well, because they hear these stories. Then on the coffee side, we get people saying, I love your coffee. I can't get enough of it. I'm hooked on it. I give it to everybody, and they constantly reorder from us, from the coffeeplatoon.com. The coffeeplatoon.com integrates with Bridging the Gap as well. And they constantly reordering and sending testimonials to us as well.
Is it difficult is it when you find that veteran who doesn't want the assistance or want to, is it, how's that part of it? Like, probably.
Well, we don't run into that too much. That is
too proud,
too much ego, because we give them a tough love.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a former command chief, master sergeant.
Chief.
So I was the highest enlisted grade in the Air Force. And so I oversaw 28,000 airmen. I'll make you do push-ups.
Don't. Push up.
And so when they hear who I am, when they see my background, right off the bat, they're like, not intimidated, but they understand I'm going to help them. Mm-hmm. And so that we can relate. They know what an E9 does in the military. Mm-hmm. They know what a sergeant major does. So they understand, when they have a problem, the chief's going to get involved and we're going to help them.
How, that's great. What are besides growing, but do you have any immediate future plans for?
Yeah, one is the new technology we're going to do for this buy one donate one. Mm-hmm. That's one. Two, we're going to start to do more on the career coaching in the civilian market as well, where we're going to open it up to not just veterans but to other levels of folks, maybe college students. We're going to open up that aperture lens a little bit wider to invite more to come to our events. We get 30, 40 companies at a time to come out and do our career events with us, speed interviewing. We call them Top Gun, Ignite Your Future. Mm-hmm. And Ignite's an acronym. It ends basically being employment ready. And so we're going to open up that to other people to come on out. So that's a new area for us.
What's the Ignite?
So Ignite's identify your natural skills and abilities. Mm-hmm. Get focused and get a mentor. And so we have access to mentorships like you won't believe. Network using social media. We teach people how to optimize their LinkedIn account, how to brand themselves, and then identify career interviewing skills that are successful. Transpose and fireproof your resume, and then you're employment ready. And then you're ready for that speed interviewing. So that's the Ignite all the way through.
Well, if I can ever help on the culinary side, you let me know.
Oh, absolutely.
I could definitely be a part of speed dating there.
Yeah. I'm looking at another program where we deal with entrepreneurship. Have a double E at the end of Ignite, have 2 E's, and one will be for employment readiness, and the other one will be for entrepreneurship. Maybe somebody wants to be a business owner, to maybe shadow a business owner for a week, just to see what it's like.
Love to do that. I'd love to be a part of that. That's great. You have any advice for veterans?
I do. I think, when you're looking at your career goals and what you want to be when you grow up after serving, I think you have to also take a step back and kind of, look at what you're good at, what your knowledge, skills, and abilities are, and kind of write them out. What you're good at, your hobbies and all that. That starts to paint a picture and of where the direction you want to go. You may be good at managing people, maybe good at even budgetary or dealing with finance, and maybe you're good at like scheduling things as well.
You find out what you're good at and get it down.
And what I just told you is someone that could be a great project manager, as an example. And so there's a lot of skills that you have from the military that you get. Discipline, you're organized, mission focused, you're going to show up early, you're going to stay late. These are embedded in what you get from the military. And so I think people need to take a step back, kind of assess their skill set, and then prepare to build their resume and prepare to get ready for interviewing. And that's where we help.
How does the community get involved?
I think the way to get involved is, one is to buy our coffee, buy our hot chocolate, support us that way. Shop in the stores and do that.
So you'll see this coffee, this box.
In ShopRites.
The flag, USA, Bridging the Gap. This is the Anchors Away, the Air Force?
Correct. That's Navy.
Navy. And what's the Air Force one?
Aim High.
Aim High. And then Army Strong.
Army Strong. Semper Fi for Marines.
Yeah.
It's always faithful. Semper Paratus for the Coast Guard. Always reliable. We have a Stars and Stripes blend. And we have a decaf. We call that Freedom Blend. And then we have one called the Commander Hot Cocoa. which is double Dutch. People love it.
See, I would drink that. I would definitely drink that. How was your Christmas?
Fantastic.
Did you enjoy it? You're on the good list, obviously.
Yeah, it was a great Christmas. I have 2 daughters, and my girlfriend. We had a wonderful time. We look forward to New Year's as well.
Well, before we go, you did tell us some great things about your organization, and I've learned more, and I'm definitely going to get more involved. I would like to just personalize this a little bit and let people know a little bit about you. So I'm going to ask you 10 quick questions.
Sure.
Just let me know.
Yep.
What's your dream vacation?
Caribbean.
You're a hot weather guy.
Yeah.
Favorite book or movie?
Invincible. With Vince Papale.
Yes. Very good movie.
About the Eagle Walk-On.
Yeah.
You can't if you're not inspired after that.
Teared.
But also, he's a good friend of mine.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a dear friend of mine.
Well, that's a great story. Morning or night?
I'm a morning guy. I'm up at 5:30. I hit the gym.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go by 7 a.m.
Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
In the military, right? Superpower choice.
Oh, that's a tough one. Superpower, huh? From an action figure?
I don't know.
Oh.
Superpower choice.
I'd say I think of Superman as it comes to mind.
So you want to be all empowering, fly, all that good stuff. Why wouldn't you, right?
Fly, fight, and win.
That's it. You said that before. Ideal weekend activity?
Oh, making wine.
You're making wine.
Yeah,
I've
been making wine for 20 years, the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where do you get your grapes?
Napa, and we
So
get
you bring 'em over?
shipped directly through, and we have a whole team. We made 7 barrels this year.
Of different varietals?
Cab.
All cab?
All Cabernet.
Big cab?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. If I was going to drink, that's the wine I like. Music preference?
I'm a traditional rock and roll guy.
Yeah.
80s, 90s, 70s. I like the old stuff.
Me too. And best childhood memory for you?
The best childhood memory is interesting because I remember my parents. I must have been around 10 years old. I always wanted to go in the military. Always, as a kid, always playing with toys and things like that. They took me to Belmar, New Jersey, because I'm from Howell originally. That's where I grew up. And there used to be a park called Airplane Park, right off of Belmar Boulevard.
Aren't we in Belmar?
Yeah.
Right now?
Right here. It's not far from here.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know if the park is still there, though. And they used to have an old fighter jet that was parked there on a static display, and the canopy was open. So there was no canopy whatsoever. You could jump into the cockpit.
Really?
And I had a Joe Namath football helmet, the old Jets football helmet, and I was 10 years old. They put me into some kind of jumpsuit, and they put me in the cockpit of that fighter jet.
And that was the inspiration?
And that was the inspiration for me after that to join the military.
That's pretty important. You think about that.
Yeah. And I got pictures of that, but I still have pictures of me being in that jet.
How many things are not around now, not inspiring kids to do things?
I know.
Things have been removed.
Exactly.
That's a whole different
It's a whole different
podcast.
Absolutely.
For crying out loud. Pet preference. You a cat or a dog?
Oh, a dog.
Big dog guy?
Yeah, big dog guy.
Me
Bigger
too.
the better. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I like the Mastiffs. I don't have one, but if I had my preference,
Send him a Mastiff, somebody. Send him one. Give me the life motto besides fight. What is it?
Fly, fight, and win.
Fly, fight, and win.
I live life. I love life.
Live, love, laugh?
Live, love, laugh. That's kind of my motto in a way.
I like it.
Because I love my family and my friends. I really appreciate the relationships I get involved with, like yourself. I love experiencing fun things and laughing and so forth. And it's just been the life I've had. Being in the military for 32 years and going all over the world. Aircraft mechanic. I flew for 12 years. Leadership roles. I've had a life of such a privilege in a way.
That's great to hear.
To serve our
That's a
country.
Positive thing. And one last thing before we go. If you had to eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, yeah. I got to say, Chef, and I'm not saying this because I'm on the show, but your prime rib
Okay, all right.
on a
I'll
Thursday
take it. You heard him. You heard him.
is off the charts.
Thursday
delicious.
nights, yeah, we do a
off the charts
spectacular
delicious.
process. But our pork chop's pretty good. I don't know.
I know, I've had that
You
too.
I've
I've
had
had that.
a 4-day
That-
process.
That Berkshire
Yeah, yeah.
pork chop is good too. But the prime rib for me, That's my number
Well,
one.
I am so glad you were here today.
Oh,
and
thank
people
you.
got to learn about your organization. We got New Year's coming up next week, so I think we're going to take a pause next Friday. But the following couple weeks, we have some spectacular people that we're going to be meeting up with. The Vetter family from the Burger 25. We have the Monmouth County Chamber of Commerce. They do big stuff.
Yeah, they do.
And I have Terrence Turnbach, who has a big a food hub in Toms River for the past 3 years, going on 4, never missing no matter what. So it's a lot of interesting people
Doing a lot of
coming
stuff
up on the show.
A lot of great stuff for the community.
Yeah, so
That's good.
We hope to see you at the outing this year, definitely.
Well, we'll be there with Chef Lou's Coffee.
Yeah, definitely. So thanks for popping in, guys, and watching. This is an amazing gentleman. Now that was, give that website one last time.
Bridgingthegap.vet.
There it is. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.